Hey there everyone, welcome back to the John Fun. We have got a very special and exciting video for you today. I am officially a Magic the Gathering ambassador for Tarkir Dragonstorm, and thanks to Wizards of the Coast, I am allowed to show you guys this super awesome box opening of Tarkir Dragonstorm. So shout out to Wizards of the Coast for hooking us up with this here and allowing us to film this awesome content for you guys. So as I open this box here, struggle to do so, if you guys are not aware of the Tarkir Dragonstorm, it is the latest set for Magic the Gathering, and this is quite possibly one of the coolest sets of all time. And I'm not biased at all on this. This is my legitimate feelings on this. This is one of the best sets they've just ever done, in my opinion, especially the last 10 years. This is like quintessential Magic for me. So I'm very, very excited to be able to open this booster box here for you guys, again, courtesy of Wizards of the Coast, and show you guys all the cool stuff inside. Now, obviously, by now, the full set has been revealed. You guys know what all is in there and all that crazy stuff that is in this set that they just really went bananas for, and really just knocked it out of the park as far as design is concerned. So I'm very excited to show you guys what's up. Here we go, pack one. See what we get here. All right, just really cool stuff here. Amazing new mechanics that are like kind of tied to each clan. I'm Clan Mardu myself. I'm a clan captain over here, so very, very happy to be representing the Mardu clan. Some awesome art in here as well. This is one of the big ones that I kind of talk about a lot in the art. Breaching Dragonstorm, really cool, uncommon, but the art on here is just nuts. The art in this whole set is insane. Naga Fleshcrafter is our first rare there, and then we get a foil rare there, Lotus Light Dancers in the background there, and then we have the Gainlands are back and the cool art card. So we'll set our rares aside there, and we'll talk about cool cards as they come up, new mechanics, stuff like that. Like I said, this set is just really incredible. A home run all the way through. Really, really is. So Renew, here's a new mechanic here for you. This is tied to the Sultai clan, as you can tell with the little watermark back there. Essentially what we're doing here is we are able to use our cards in the graveyard to gain some sort of benefit on the battlefield. And essentially what we're doing is like recycling the card in a way. We're using some of its abilities or its keywords or its stats and putting them onto something on the battlefield, which is super awesome. We also obviously see the return of like tricolor stuff, you know, for the clans here. We have these monuments. Each clan has a monument, which is super cool. And then we also get the return of not quite Adventure, but Omen. So those of you that remember Adventure from Wilds of Eldraine and Throne of Eldraine, that basically you could play the Adventure half and then it would go into exile. You could play the creature later. However, now with Omens, the way this works is you could play it for the Omen cast, and then it goes back into your library and you shuffle. So essentially, it's a way of being able to get more dragons, like big, cool dragons in the set, without having it be too broken or powerful, right? So you can play the Omen aspect. Someone then knows, okay, they have this dragon essentially later on in their deck. So, ooh, Call of the Spirit Dragon, first mythic right there. 5-color enchantment that says you win the game. The art is super cool on there. And then Whale of War is our foil. So our first mythic right there. But yeah, this set is just insane. It's so cool. Really cannot say that enough. Just an incredible, incredible set. So we'll kind of speed up a little bit here. Ooh, there we go. Skirmish Rhino. All right, so I got to talk about this real quick. This is an amazing callback to Siege Rhino from Original Cons block, which was a terror in the format at the time, right? This is the new version of it, and more importantly, the art is done by good buddy, an amazing artist, James Buzema. He is an amazing, amazing artist. Those of you that don't know his work, look him up. He's incredible. He does a lot of stuff in the metal and hardcore community, and he's just an incredible artist. So for him to get tapped to do the modern day Siege Rhino is just super awesome. So very stoked to have that there. Winter Night Stories is our rare, and then Focus the Mind is the foil there. But yeah, just a really incredible, super fun set. Cannot stress that enough. Just really a home run mechanically, aesthetically. Everything is just awesome. Bloom Vine Regent is our rare, and then ooh, right there we get the Borderless Clan treatment. So this is a new treatment they're doing here, non-foil. They do have these in foil as well, but this essentially has the clan symbol in the background there. And so with this one here, the Naga Flesh Crafter, we see that they're different art as well, and then our foil. So we'll track the special treatments as well, so you guys can see all that fun stuff that we get in this play booster box. What clan do you guys like? Leave comment down below, and let me know which one you prefer and why maybe as well. There's our monument there, and then we get Baron Step Siege. So sieges are back, but they're a little bit different. So those of you that were around for original Cons block, you may remember the choices were Cons or Dragons. Now we're doing it where it's these two color cards here that share a color with two different clans. So in this case, it's an Orzhov card. And so it shares either Abzan or Mardu, and you can choose one or the other. So this is the way they're doing sieges this time around, which I think is super cool and allows for a ton of flexibility with these cards here. So you can kind of play it based on what your clan is or what your play style is. And it's just super, super awesome. And then Bearer of Glory is our foil there. So yeah, they just really knocked it out of the park with this set. And it's just a really cool return to a very beloved plane in Magic's history. Tarkir holds a very special place in a lot of people's hearts, mine included. So it's super exciting to be back to it. Laced Prowler right here. Just a really good rare, using that renew mechanic again, the watermark for the soul type. That's how you'll always know essentially what mechanic or what clan that card is typically for, right? But again, flexibility is key with this set here. They really wanted to make it as playable across many formats and many different deck types as they possibly could without restricting too many things. So we'll go through here. Ooh, there we go. Here's another of the new treatments here. This is the Draconic frame here, which all of these frames were done by the ever incredible Justine Jones, probably the best dragon artist out there right now, right up with Victor Adame Minguez. But this is a really cool treatment they're doing where they're having this kind of draconic frame around everything. So super cool to see that there. And then Severance Priest is our rare. So we'll put our rare down there and we'll put our special treatments down there. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Keep going here. So big hits in this set are Mox Jasper. We get a new Mox, which is crazy and standard. Craterhoof Behemoth, also back in standard. The new Elspeth is insane. There's a Draco Genesis, which essentially allows you to play dragons for free, which is nuts. There's just a lot of really cool stuff in here, so we'll see what we get. Corey Steel Cutter there, nice little rare equipment, and the Duty Beyond Death with really cool foiling right there. So yeah, just a super awesome, fun set. And we'll see if we can get any of the real big hitters in here. Evolving Wilds, got to have that in standard, right? It's like a forever, forever standard staple. Ooh, Magmatic Hellkite. All right. This one is pretty spicy. 4 mana, 4/5. When it enters, destroy target non-basic land the opponent controls, and then they search for a basic land card, put it on a battlefield tapped with a stun counter on it, which is crazy. So, like, if you can blink this, a lot of times you can be just the most salt-inducing player at your table, bar none, and just do some crazy stuff with it. So really spicy card. I expect to see that across a lot of tables. And then here we go, another rare, Inevitable Defeats. This is a Mardu rare right here. So a 4 mana instant can't be countered. Exile target non-land permanent. Its controller loses 3 life. You gain 3 life. So it's kind of like Anguished Unmaking and like Lightning Helix, essentially. It's pretty cool. Love seeing that there. And then a little foil common in the background. Now, we do get special guests in this set, which is kind of the new thing Wizards has been doing moving forward with sets, is having a special guest spot. And this time around, the special guests, go figure, are the fetch lands. And they are the enemy fetch lands this time around, which is super cool. And there's 2 different versions of each of them, so hopefully we'll pull something, right? That'd be super sick. Dragon Fireblade is our rare there, and then a cool foil uncommon. All right, we'll keep going through here. So yeah, I was very excited to get selected for this set. Obviously, Jund is not part of Tarkir's world. That is an Alara, tricolor pairing there. But that being said, I love 3-color sets. I love dragons, obviously, because Jund plays a lot of dragons. So this set is right up my alley. So I was super stoked to get selected for it and very excited to show you guys this awesome product. Codis, the Fangkeeper here, new leader of the Sultai clan, featuring art by the ever-incredible Evan Fong, just a super cool card. Really want to build this in Commander. I don't play Sultai a lot, but this has got me wanting to play Sultai. The art alone is just super cool. Evan is an incredible artist, so super awesome to see that. And ooh, here we go. All-Out Assault, the borderless clan mythic here. This enchantment of the Mardu here, we're getting all the Mardu treatment, clearly. The really sick enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+1, have death touch, and then when it enters, you're getting additional main phase, additional combat phase, and then another additional main phase, and you untap after you attack this turn, which is nuts. So just a super awesome card there. Very stoked to see that. So, yeah, like I said, this thing is just an incredible product. Super fun. Have you guys opened any cool stuff yourself? If you have, comment down below. Let me know what you got, what your favorite card is, maybe favorite treatment, stuff like that. Speaking of treatments, there we go, that Draconic Frame right there, looking so cool. And then Revival of the Ancestors. So sagas are back here in a big way. We don't get a lot of saga support these days, so it's really cool to see it back here in Tarkir, and just each clan getting a saga of their own, which is really nice to see there. We'll put that right there. All right, keep burning our way through this awesome box here. So far, some really cool stuff. Only one mythic though right now, so we'll see if we can change that here. See if I call something right here. We'll see. We get another Lotus Light Dancers. All right, so we get that in foil and non-foil. All right. These cards keep wanting to flip over on me. There we go. We'll keep going through here. Let's see what we get. There are just some really good uncommons in here too that I think are going to like make a staple in standard in some capacity or another, but the rares and mythics are just nuts. Ooh, speaking of mythics, there we go. Spoken into existence, Elspeth Stormslayer. Elspeth is back in this story, and she is stronger than ever. Honestly, this is an insane Planeswalker. 5 mana, 5 loyalty. It's a token doubler, which is nuts. Her +1 just makes you free bodies. Her 0 ability is insane. Putting a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and then they gain flying until your next turn. That's nuts. That's crazy. It's not until end of turn. It's until your next turn. So, like, they stick around as flyers, which is insane. And then she has an easy little -3 there to just get rid of something. But, like, this 0 ability is nuts. And then just her static ability is crazy. So that is super cool to get that there as our second mythic. There's also some really cool foil treatments in this set as well. There is the Ghostfire kind of Halo foil stuff going on there. There's a Dragon Scale foil, but you can get those in the collector booster boxes. So I don't think we're going to see those in this box, obviously, but we're still getting some really cool stuff, such as here, the Armament Dragon. Really cool Draconic Frame there in the gold. Love seeing that. And ooh, Fellothar, Dawn of the Abzan. There we go, little Abzan action there. The new leader of the Abzan clan. This one's awesome as well, and obviously the Abzan love putting counters on things. Victor Adame Minguez just crushing it with the art here. This is one of the first pieces of art that we got to see at the preview panel for Tarkir Dragonstorm back in Chicago. And I remember seeing that and thinking, oh man, like we're in for a treat with the art on this set, because that already looks insane and looks so cool and just exactly what I want in Magic, right? So we're going to go through here and we get Thunder of Unity, the Mardu Saga enchantment here. Super cool. All right, 2 mythics. I think we're about halfway or so through the box. Haven't been counting necessarily, but we'll see what we can get here going through. Hey, there we go. Another one of the borderless clan treatments there is Sidisi, Regent of the Mire. So Sidisi of the Sultai clan is obviously back and is a really awesome card. This is Rebirthing Pod, we're joking it as. Just a really, really cool birthing pod effect here. Definitely going to see some play. It is mono black, which is kind of restrictive, but Other than that, like, this is a really strong ability to have on a card here. So super cool to see that there. We'll put that down there with those special treatments. Hoping we can get like a Mox Jasper. Wouldn't that be crazy? Or Draco Genesis, just another one of those big ones there. This here is a really good example of some of the new things they're doing with the set here. So you can notice up here we have the hybrid mana, right? 2 generic or a monocolor. So this is, again, touching on flexibility within the set. This is typically a Jeskai flavored card. However, you don't have to have just Jeskai in order to play this. You can either do 6 generic mana, you can do 4 generic and a white, you know, any combination of this stuff here. So they're calling it two-brid, essentially. And it's a really neat way to have more flexibility with these cards, which, again, is a huge emphasis on this set here, and they really nailed it for sure. New Way Forward is our rare there, so a really nice little instant. And then we get Great Arashan City. First of the rare land cycles that we have here. So each of the rare lands, there's 5 of them, and they are monocolor technically, but they do pay attention to the clans that you're in. So essentially, they are the clan headquarters. For example, here, this one enters tapped unless you control a forest or a plains, and it taps for black, so Abzan. And they have a second activated ability here to be able to pay 2, tap, and then you exile a creature card from your graveyard to create a 1/1 spirit creature token. So really cool to see some new rare lands in the set here and in Standard. We did not get shock lands, obviously, that's for Ravnica. We did not get fetch lands, obviously, in the main set either. Fetch lands and Standard might be a little too broken, I think, but we get them in the special guest slot, which is still super cool. So we will see if we can get any other big stuff here. Herd Heirloom is our rare right there, and then a cool foil uncommon. Of the rare lands, I said there's 5 of them, right? They tap for a monocolor, and they check for your other colors for your clan. The blue one, I believe I want to say it's the Teamer or the Sultai one. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's the Sultai one, I think. Is absolutely insane. It is a ridiculous rare land that I think is going to cause some problems in competitive Magic, but we'll see. Quartzy Revenant is our rare right there, and then we get another rare, Flamehold Grappler, some really cool art there from Wayne Wu, I think a new artist here in Magic, who's got a lot of work in this set, actually, and it looks awesome. That's the other thing, too, is with this set, they really hit home on making sure that we were using culturally appropriate stuff, obviously, because the first go around with Tarkir, it wasn't necessarily handled the best per se as far as that's concerned. So they learned a lot of lessons from that, and so they brought in a lot of consultants for cultural stuff, as well as a lot of artists that are of Asian origin and descent, and really like put a spotlight on them and let them shine, because this is obviously a Eastern Asia, like, kind of inspired set, right? So really cool to see an emphasis put on that for this. Clarion Conqueror is our rare right there. And oh, Crater Hoof Behemoth right there in the Mythic. Wow, that is awesome. Art by the ever-talented Magali Villeneuve, one of my favorites. If those of you that know me, you know how much I love her work. Yeah, Crater Hoof back in Standard. That is super, super cool right there to pull that. That's super exciting. Hell yeah. That's awesome. All right, getting down towards the end here. See if we can pull some other big stuff. Let's see what we can do. Quarry Mountain Monastery. That's a tongue twister. Quarry Mountain Monastery. There we go. This is the Jeskai rare land there. So again, entering tapped. Unless you control a plains or an island, taps for red. You can pay 4, tap it, and exile top card of your library. Until your next turn, you may play that card. So impulse draw, right? That's kind of the big thing. A lot of Jeskai decks are spell slinger type decks, so impulse draw is super important to have. Very on flavor. All right, let's see what else we get here. There's something peeking back there. Runescale Stormbrood is the Draconic Frame, uncommon right there. And then Revival of the Ancestors, once again, in our rare spot. All right, I think we're getting down towards the last handful of packs that we have here. 3 Mythics, a Craterhoof, Elspeth, and then the Call of the Spirit Dragons is our Mythics so far. See if we can get at least one more. There's Anafenza, Unyielding Mage, very cool Abzan rare right there. And then we get another Revival of the Ancestors. Wow, all right. So they really like us to be Abzan, apparently, which is interesting considering that I'm a Clan Mardu captain. So You know, that's okay. We haven't got any of the spirit dragons yet either. Hopefully we get one of those. I can show you guys how cool those are. Oh, wow. I literally called that into existence. Holy crap. Betor kin to all. There's a spirit dragon, and it's an Abzan one. Go figure. What are the odds of that? Yeah, so each of the clans has a new spirit dragon. Gone are the ones of old. In are the new ones here, and they're really, really sick. This one in particular is nuts. But yeah, just super, super awesome card. Super popular to build around right now as well. That's hilarious. I spoke that right into existence. Boy, if only I could do that with like the lottery. Wouldn't that be something? All right, let's go through here, see what we get. Fanekeeper's Familiar is our rare right there. All right, and we get a cool little foil Tranquil Cove. People don't like the gain lands, and I understand that. I'm kind of with you to a degree, right? Like but they serve a purpose and limited, and I think that's the big thing. These are not meant to be necessarily constructed playable per se, as far as like competitive stuff, but they're great and limited, so they are necessary in my mind. Sidisi, Region of the Mire, there's the original art right there for her, and then we will move past everything else there. All right, down to the last 3 packs that we have. Again, thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for allowing me the opportunity to share this incredible product with all of you. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy the product. And if you do want to get any of the product of your own, you can go to tcgplayer.com, link down below in the description. Use my link, pick up your stuff that you want to get through them. Some of the best prices out there. Glacierwood Siege is our rare right there. Last 2 packs. Let's see what we get here. Come on, Mox Jasper. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, there's something back there. I see it. I see something. Oh, there we go. All right, we get Scavenger Regent as our rare and a cool foil uncommon with the Draconic Frame right there. That just looks so cool in foil. Even in non-foil, it looks awesome. All right, here we go. Last pack magic, right? Let's see what we can get from this super fun experience of opening this play booster box of Tarkir Dragonstorm with all of you. There's a borderless card back there. It looks like I can kind of see it peeking through. Let's see here what we get. We get another Betor kin to all in the clan version here, borderless clan, non-foil. That is hilarious. Wow, what an Abzan box. Who would have thought, huh? That's super cool, though. He's an amazing commander, so I'm definitely going to be building around him, so I'm not upset about that in the slightest. That is still super fun. There we go, guys. Tarkir Dragonstorm. If you haven't picked it up yet, be sure to do so. Shop by your local game store to pick up stuff in person. Otherwise, if they don't have it, be sure to hit up tcgplayer.com to find all the best prices on all the hot singles that you want for your Commander limited or constructed decks. I can't say, I don't know why I say limited. You're not going to do limited, obviously, if you're buying singles. All of your constructed decks, rather. There we go. Be sure to subscribe as well. Hit the like button. Comment down below. What is your favorite clan? What is your favorite card of the set so far? Do you like the new art treatments? If you do, which one is your favorite? Let me know down below. And stay tuned for more awesome content featuring Tarkir Dragonstorm. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.